MovieWeb.com.
Hello?
The FBI will arrive at your apartment in 30 seconds. You must flee the premises.
Who is this? No, none of this is mine! FBI! Get down on the floor! Listen! It's not mine! You know you got the wrong guy, right?
Oh, obviously.
Somebody set me up.
Here's the thing, Jerry. You're in a load of trouble, son.
Since a year or two ago, have you felt like you've just been on one big, long marathon? Because it never seems like you slow down in these movies. You're always just running and going.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not of my choosing. It's sort of, I'm following Steven around, you know? I'm doing what he tells me to do.
So how's your working relationship with DJ changed since Disturbia came out? I mean, was it a better experience this time out?
I think we're both getting better at our jobs.
Yeah.
I think that we're both, we're updating. We're learning new things, and it's fun to grow with somebody you care about, you know, and love and respect and admire, and he's one of my best friends. It's great to make a movie with your best friend, man. It's the best way to do it.
Who is it?
One man in my life hasn't let me down.
Oh, that's
All right, don't drink those without me.
Hello? Hello?
There's a McDonald's across the street. Look in the window.
What is this?
Would you risk your life for your son? HOLLOMAN, you've been activated.
After you go through the script and you've been in the movie, are you more paranoid now, learning about some of this technology?
You know, I don't know if it's paranoid, but I'm certainly aware. You know, the writers and the producers did a lot of research, and they wanted to make sure that everything that you see in this film is either happening now or it's possible, and so it's tangible. So you know, the things I discovered are now that I'm privy to, as far as where your information goes and how you can be listened to or watched and heard. It's pretty scary stuff. And you know, typically you think of how it all benefits us, but you never sort of ask the question about how it can be used against you. And so I think people will be asking that question after they see this.
We need to know exactly what was in that case.
They never tell you what's in the case. I mean, it could be bubonic plague, could be grandpa's Viagra.
You know anything? What? Anything at all? What about these guns?
What about them? Well, the pump-action Remington 8.7.
Yeah, I know what kind of guns they are. Get me a gun. How are they holding them? Give me a gun.
What the hell do you mean how they holding it?
I mean, in what position were they holding the gun? For instance, like this?
Hey!
Or like in a music video or something like that?
What?
Okay, that's what I was asking you. So they didn't know how to handle a weapon?
No.
All right. Get what you can out of Batman and Robin here.
I want to know your interpretation of what's going on in this movie with the Eagle Eye technology. I mean, what do you think about that, if governments actually have that kind of technology?
I can't imagine that they don't.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some pretty powerful people out there. And, you know, there's a lot of technology. I mean, our world is run by computers now, you know, just kind of creepy to me.
Does it ever make you paranoid when you get on a cell phone and you think there's like 1,000 people could be listening into this conversation?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, because that's you come out of this movie kind of thinking that.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not all illegal.
Yeah.
I don't understand why, you know, if somebody comes in my bushes to take a picture, why they can say, well, it's a public walkway. You know, I don't even understand that. It's like, no, it's not. I mean, yeah, it's public out here, but your lens, you know, takes a picture of me in here. That's my place.
Yeah, it's
you
crazy.
know, I don't get it.
Now, after you get done filming this movie, are you a little bit more paranoid about talking on the cell phone or walking under the streetlights?
I was always fairly cautious about that kind of stuff anyway, like that I've always shredded my papers or really kind of covered my mouth when I was giving like a phone number or something like that away. Because I just, you know, New York, people like listen in on that kind of stuff. Like I grew up around people very close. Now that I'm in LA, you feel like you can just kind of like say stuff out loud, and I've definitely come a little bit looser, and it's weird because I never used to ride in my diary, but I have no problem sending really personal stuff in an email. And that's the stuff really nowadays is where it goes everywhere. So I feel like I am, especially after a movie like this, I'm all the more cautious about it because it's interesting. I keep learning facts. People keep telling me things like, oh, I saw this movie. Did you know that if you have a security system in your house, they can listen in? So I think as the movie comes out, I'm gonna hear more and more stuff to be paranoid about, and I'm just gonna end up going off the grid.
Sir, it's just coming out.
37% and probable don't belong in the same sentence. I'm not taking this to the president.
Mr. Secretary. Wait. Print, 51%.
51%. Abort rec still holds.
What do you suggest we do?
Signal's got the president from Air Force One, sir. Mr. President, we have a 51% identity match and we have an abort recommendation.
All right, what's your recommendation?
Sir, we measure success by the least amount of collateral damage. At 51% probability, the risk is too high.
No, you're sort of the catalyst that kind of kicks everything into gear for this movie, aren't you?
I suppose you could look at it that way. Sure, it's yeah, that opening scenario, the opening scene is really kind of tips it off and spins the action forward. I thought, you know, how fascinating to play the Secretary of Defense, you know, to play someone who has literally the weight of the nation's security on his shoulders, and what that must be like to make decisions that would literally not affect people's lives, determine whether people live or die. That's an extraordinary position to be placed in. And I just thought, you know, that'd be really interesting to play as an actor.
Drive the car! Drive the car! I did what you asked me to do! I'm not going anywhere until you tell me to stop! Who's your son? I don't know what you're talking about! I will kill you if you hurt my son! Who's that? You saw me! Idiot! Are you the one who called me on the phone? Did you call me on the phone?
The woman. She called you too. Drive.
Get out now! Get out of the vehicle! Stop! Why is this happening? Go! Who are you? Why are people shooting at us? Drive the car!
Accelerate. Turn right. 200 feet. You have pursuit. Maintain a speed of 50 miles an hour. Stay in the second lane from the right.
The light's red!
Accelerate now.
You were trapped in this crate with Shia for quite a long time.
It was quite a
right?
long time, actually, yeah.
Now, how was that experience getting shoved in there and having to act with just a cell phone to light you?
Well, pretty difficult, actually. You have to ask my co-star about this, but he was actually in charge of lighting us both. And if you realize, he was holding the cell phone, and for the majority of the takes, he was the only one lit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed that in the movie.
Did you? So I gave him a lot of heck for that because, yeah, he had the tendency to just light himself, and I was sort of in there trying to catch my light. We had a fun time. I don't mind being in close quarters with him. We get along really well, thank goodness.
You actually had to stay in this box with Michelle for quite a while, right?
Yeah, we have a 6-page dialogue scene in a box. We light ourselves with a cell phone.
But she said that you kind of lit yourself a little bit more than you lit her.
That's the thing. You can never give actors their own light source,
yeah.
You know, and then ask them to light the entire scene, because then they won't light anything but themselves. You know, it's like a selfish trait.
Oh,
so you got the scene where I'm trying to light the scene, but I really am lighting myself, and she keeps ducking in like, hey, it's my key light. You know, it was kind of funny. It's funny, it was on the blooper reel.
Well, she said you were also burping in there a little bit, was driving her nuts.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun, me and her.
Leave, Jerry. Jump now.
No way that this guy did this alone. Someone is pulling his strings.
Are you the one who called me on the phone?
She called you too. Drive.
FBI!
Follow directions and you'll live through this.
How are you seeing us right now?
Disobey.
What did she say?
And you die.
Somebody's hacking into the power grid.
Hey!
Traffic cams.
The lights are all turning green.
You got a theory?
She wants us to go to the armored truck.
The briefcase.
What's in it?
It makes no sense.
This is
You want us
insane.
to
I'm
rob
not
them?
doing this.
Do it now.
Go!
it's a decoy to distract us from something 50 times bigger.
Find out what is happening.
We are everywhere.